guys, and welcome back to Creative Pet Keeping. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I set up my two Betta breeding aquariums. When I set up the tank, and this is a 5-gallon, I will fill it up halfway and then add a heater. Now, if you just add in a heater on its own, there will be an issue where there will be heat concentrated in one area. So to help distribute the heat evenly around the aquarium, I use a sponge filter to create small movement that will help evenly distribute it around. Add some driftwood to provide cover for the female Betta to be able to retreat and hide in, as well as add some Indian almond leaves, also known as catappa leaves. These will color the water yellow, filling it up with tannins, and these will replicate the Betta's natural environment, as well as provide some beneficial properties such as lowering the pH. You can also pour in Indian almond extract into your water. I have a video tutorial that I will put a link down below in the description, showing you how to extract tannins from Indian almond leaves. And here I am adding a lot of leaves into my aquarium. To make it easy for the male to set up his bubble nest, I will get some more Indian almond leaves, as well as some bubble wrap. I got this idea from Life with Pets on YouTube. I also use some clear plastic wrap above the tank, as well as some painter's tape, which is easy to get off your glass, and some scissors. So cut a piece of the bubble wrap and tape it to the side of the aquarium with your painter's tape. The location doesn't really matter. I like to place them near the front so I can better observe my fish as they breed. And then you can grab your Indian almond leaves. Here I cut off the stems because they're not really needed. And then I figured out how to place them in the best way I thought. You can also just use the Indian almond leaves alone, tape the Indian almond leaves to the glass, or you can use just a bubble wrap, and some people even use styrofoam cups as well. Next, I caught my males in some clear glass. Now, the reason I did that and not used a net was because I wanted to acclimate them to the temperature of the tank, which is 5 degrees warmer, and not shock them. And it is a lot easier to have Bettas willingly swim into clear glass than any other solid container, because they don't really see the glass, so they won't be afraid of it. So this lets them adjust to the new tank without being shocked or startled too much. After about 20 minutes of temperature acclimating, I released the males into their individual breeding tanks. Now, if you live in a tropical country where the temperature in your tank is already really warm and the same temperature roughly than your breeding tanks, then you don't have to acclimate. You could probably just move your fish and completely skip that step. Also, if you live in a warm tropical country, you probably won't have to use a heater. So adjust how you set up your breeding tanks based on where you are located. So here, the males are exploring the tanks. At the beginning, they will be very curious and want to look at their different environments. I uncarded them for a little bit, but most of the times they will be carded, so they will have a piece of paper between the tanks so they won't be able to see each other. Also, both of the tanks are different colors. One has more Indian almond leaves, and that causes more tannins to be released into the water, darkening it. There is no special perfect amount of tannins that you should have in the water. It doesn't really matter a whole lot if you have a little less or a little more, and you can't overdose on tannins, so you don't have to worry about putting a specific measurement. I know some of you guys have been asking me about that in the comments. In regards to adding the plastic wrap on top of the aquarium, it creates more humidity and helps prevent evaporation in the aquarium, but there are also some theories that state that higher humidity will help in the development of fry labyrinth organ as they take breaths from the surface of the water. Keep in mind that when you do get close to the bubble nest, even though there are no eggs or females or nothing has happened yet, the males will start to flare and should in theory start to protect their nest as they build their bubbles. It is a natural behavior, so it is best to try not to disturb your males. Now, some people will right away add the male, add the female, so they can mate. I prefer to let the male have at least 1 day and 1 night into the tank so he can start to build his bubble nest and kind of get comfortable in his habitat. Males can get a bit distracted with the new setup, so this will kind of let them explore everything. So when you do add the female later on, they will focus on her. So here is the almond leaf, Indian almond leaf, as well as the bubbles that the male has been forming. Now some males will make really awesome bubble nests, some males won't even make them at all. It really depends on the individual fish. Every fish is completely different. Not all fish will breed, and not all fish will act in the same way, so keep that in mind. During this time, I will actually still feed my male, because working on the bubble nest and afterwards breeding and then caring for the fry is a lot of hard work and it takes a toll on the males. So it's really good to make sure that they are really well fed. Some fish won't take food after you introduce the females or have the nests. It really depends. In my previous breeding, I was actually able to hand feed my male using tongs and bloodworms, so that really depends. The best advice I can give you is to do a lot of research, remain flexible, and use your instinct. If you would like to see more videos of the future breeding as well as rearing of the fry, be sure to subscribe to this channel as well as click that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos.